A death investigation in Lexington where officials say the cold weather was a factor. New details about a police-involved shooting in Georgetown. The Playboy Mansion is on the market, and you'll never guess what's included in the price.
This is WKYT Midmorning.
Good morning, everybody. We're so glad that you're with us. Bill is off today, and Micah, certainly I hope that as Bill is out and about doing things, I hope he's nice and bundled up. It is cold out there.
It is really cold. Yeah, he was smart to stay at home this morning and just kind of stay inside. Maybe light a fire. That's the first time I actually did that this cold season. Was yesterday. Live sky camera, there's your shot. Things look pretty good. You know what? We can't rule out a couple of flakes far northern zones. For the most part, we stay dry today. Temperatures there in the teens still. I mean, it is cold outside. 29 by the afternoon, bitterly cold conditions. We'll go over this forecast. I'll show you if we have any effects for tomorrow that could affect and impact the schools. I'll have that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Micah, you have our attention, certainly. This morning's cold weather may have led to a man's death. The Fayette County Coroner's Office says the victim was found around 6:30 this morning in the alley behind Wildcat Warehouse on South Broadway. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is tracking this death investigation live now from the scene.
Good morning, Barb. As you mentioned, that man was found here behind of Wildcat Warehouse by an employee just before 6:30 this morning. Investigators say the employee saw a man on the ground and immediately called 911. Once paramedics got here to the scene, the Fayette County coroner was called. Investigators say they do believe the man was homeless, and Coroner Gary Ginn says at this point he believes alcohol and the extremely cold temperatures played a role in his death.
He was found in between a storage container, which is to my left, and the building, so you know, I'm sure that the wind wasn't blowing quite as bad in through there, but I mean, this late night, this early morning, temperatures got pretty low, and so I really believe that this is probably due to exposure.
This point appears to be an exposure-related death, comes just hours after dozens of volunteers worked hard to try and prevent this type of situation as the compassionate caravan went throughout town last night, checking on the homeless, providing them with supplies and also rides to shelters. Now, Coroner Ginn says the body has been taken to his office where they will work to determine exact cause of death. He says they also are working to run fingerprints to get an identity for this victim. Live in Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Hillary, thank you. And new this morning, a man was rushed to UK hospital after being hit by a car in Lexington. It happened just after 7 this morning on Winchester Road in front of the Jif peanut butter plant. Police say the man was crossing Winchester Road when he was hit by a car headed inbound. The victim has non-life-threatening injuries, and police say the driver was not charged. We have new details on a police-involved shooting in Scott County. It happened around 2 this morning on North Hamilton Street off East Main Street in Georgetown. WKYT's Mark Barber is live now outside police headquarters with more. Mark?
Good morning, Barbara. Police say that the officer shot the man twice this morning because he pointed what appeared to be a gun at police. Turns out that weapon was actually a pellet gun. Investigators say, though, that from a distance of 10 to 12 feet, there really is no discernible difference between this pellet gun that was used in this crime allegedly and an actual handgun. According to police, the trouble started around 1:30 this morning when they were called to a home on North Hamilton Street for a domestic disturbance. Officers tell WKYT that's where 29-year-old Stephen Young hit his 5-month-old child and then assaulted the child's mother. When police found Young in a bedroom of the home, they say he shouted that he had a gun on him, and then he pointed what looked like a weapon straight at officers.
They confronted the individual from a doorway in a hall, which gave them an angle of view into a bedroom where the subject was. Only one officer could have maintained that position and seen into the bedroom. So there was only one officer that actually had a clear shot at the individual.
Investigators tell us that Young was shot twice in the upper body. They say at this point they do not think he has life-threatening injuries. Now, they told us that after that shooting happened, they went ahead and they took a look at what they thought was Young's gun. They say at that point they realized that the clip for that pellet gun was empty and that it was indeed not a real handgun. Now, according to protocol, the officer who was involved in the shooting, he has been placed on paid leave. We're told that he will be on that paid leave probably for the next 3 days or so while they continue to investigate. Police will not release his name at this time, but they say that could be released at a later date. Live in Georgetown, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. And we've learned that Young's 5-month-old is okay. Police say the 29-year-old will face a number of charges connected to the assault and shooting when he's released from UK Hospital. Investigators tell us he was wanted for not paying child support when he was shot. Well, the case against a 2016 Lexington murder suspect has been delayed. Donald Roark Jr.'s attorney asked that Roark's preliminary hearing be pushed back to January 25th. Police say he shot and killed 28-year-old Corinne White outside an apartment on Red Mile Road on January 3rd. White's family says the two men knew each other. Tonight, family and friends will gather to remember a Lexington teenager who was murdered over the weekend. The candlelight vigil for 18-year-old Caleb Hallett is tonight at Gardenside Park. Police say Hallett and another man were shot while in a car on University Avenue Saturday morning. The coroner says Hallett died at the hospital. So far, no arrests have been made in the case. Hallett is the third person to be murdered in Lexington just this year. Tributes are pouring in from everywhere following the death of rocker David Bowie.
Ground control to Major Tom.
Now, long before it was commonplace for pop stars to have alter egos and wild outfits, there was David Bowie, the man who broke barriers and remained a pop music icon for half a century, fell in love with music at the age of 13. In a 2002 interview with CBS News, he explained how he decided to make a career out of music.
Until quite late in my teens, I didn't know if I was going to be in music or if I was going to be painting. I kept going vacillating backwards and forwards, and I opted for music eventually.
Now, Bowie rocked his way onto the scene with the legendary hit Space Oddity in 1969. Years later, his artistic expression pushed the envelope with the album The Rise and Fall of Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars. His family said he died after an 18-month battle with cancer. He had just turned 69 on Friday, the day he released his newest album. A Kentucky State Police trooper is accused of showing up to work drunk. Antonio Robinson is charged with DUI. State police say the trooper smelled of alcohol when he showed up to training Saturday morning. Robinson has only been a trooper for 2 months. In a story fit for a Hollywood movie, the notorious drug lord known as El Chapo is back behind bars and could be headed to the U.S. in a few weeks. Mexican authorities have notified Joaquin Guzman that he is wanted in the U.S., which is one of the first steps in the extradition process. Now, while on the run, Guzman had a secret meeting with actor Sean Penn, which police say played a role in his capture. Well, the world's largest lottery prize is up for grabs Wednesday night. The Powerball jackpot is now an estimated $1.3 billion. So high, most Powerball signs can't display the huge payout because they aren't made to register into the billions. Well, should you win the Powerball lottery, here's one way you could spend it. The famous Playboy Mansion is on the market, and it comes with a roommate. Playboy says it wants about $200 million for the 22,000 square foot Los Angeles estate. But Hugh Hefner won't need to find a new home. The new owner must agree to let him live there for the rest of his life. We'll keep it here on Mid-Morning. There was no winner for the Powerball jackpot, as you just heard. After weather, a look at just how close one man came to winning the record-setting prize.
We have the teens outside this morning. We could be seeing some temperatures there in the 20s all day long once we finally get there. But all you want to know about is the snow tomorrow. I'll get into that forecast, show you the timing on that coming up.
Now, your zone-by-zone forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We look really good outside with a lot of sunshine, only a few clouds here and there. However, you're looking back toward the west into the northwest. Can we get a couple of flakes, couple of flurries fly through here in the next couple of hours for the far northern zones? That is a possibility. That's something we'll need to be watching out for. But for the most part, we all stay dry today. Let's talk about your current temperatures because, boy, that's the story. I mean, we're at 16 degrees right now in Lexington, 18 as we look toward Richmond, 11 degrees in Covington. Covington, you guys will be roughly 20 degrees later on this afternoon. Down toward the south already, 23 there in Monticello. And we finished off in the single digits in Monticello. It's getting better, but still, yeah, it's really cold outside. 29 by the afternoon. Mixture of sun and clouds. We'll hold on to that all day long. Remember, you could have a couple of flurries, a couple of flakes. Far northern zones as those clouds start to build on in. Off into the evening and into the night. Here comes those clouds really packing into the state of Kentucky. Now, the deal is once we hit tomorrow morning, that's when we start to see some of those snow showers move in. And here's the timing on it right now. Remember, it's snow. It can change in a blink of an eye. But as of right now, the start time of this, I do believe accumulation actually comes through the morning instead of right at this time. But this is when it starts, 4 a.m. to 7 a.m., northern zones. Lexington, I'd say anywhere from 5 to 8 a.m. And then you can see down toward the south and up toward the northeast, right through this area. You're talking 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. That goes from, say, Cumberland region up toward the northeastern portions, up toward Lewis County, and then making your way back toward Boyd and also Carter counties. Go into the far southern zones and southeastern zones, then you're talking 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's the start time, not the accumulating time. I think the accumulation really does come later on, mid-morning, late morning, because that's when you start to get those bursts on in here. Check out your 7-day forecast. We actually have a first alert severe weather day going on tomorrow. We're already putting that in. That's with the red, you can see the red color there on the screen for tomorrow. That's just saying, look, we're going to have impacts with this weather. We do the first alert severe weather days just because for anything, whether it's tornadoes, whether it's anything, you're doing that because it's going to be impactful to people's lives. And look, today, yeah, it's cold, but you just throw a coat on, you'll be good. So tomorrow, some of these flakes starting off in the morning, that could impact our early morning commute. And this will be the first time during the week when kids are in school that we're actually talking about snow impacting some travel. So it's going to be something to watch out for tomorrow morning, later on tonight, seeing when it gets going. And hopefully we can kind of bypass some of this in terms of it getting on the roads causing some problems. But I do expect some accumulation around town. Roughly an inch is probably a good call, but some spots northeast and mainly in those areas, you can pick upwards of 2, maybe even 3 inches with some bursts. Now, don't bypass the 1 just because I said that, okay? Yeah, most around an inch, yeah.
Maybe 1 right here in Lexington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, you may be disappointed that you didn't win Powerball, but one man's frustration has gone to a whole new level. This picture was shared on the site Imgur. The man had a Powerball ticket that was 1 number off from each of the winning numbers in Saturday's drawing. Instead of 16, he had 15. Instead of 19, he had 20, and so on. The man's name is not on the site, but this ticket was sold in Illinois. Just imagine how he feels. Well, Star Wars smashes the box office records, and meet the football star who's now scoring on Broadway. Chris Martinez has your eye on entertainment.
Football legend Eddie George makes the move from the gridiron to Broadway this week. The former running back debuts on Tuesday as Billy Flynn in the musical Chicago. George says the discipline he learned as an athlete has helped him prepare for the stage.
Making sure I'm nimble, loose, and flexible and pliable to be able to move, to dance. Working on my acting elements from improv to script reading.
George has been fine-tuning his acting skills since retiring from the NFL in 2005. Shameless kicked off its 6th season. Emmy Rossum stars as the oldest daughter in the Gallagher family.
We should have a party, a welcome home party, right? The whole family.
With an absentee father, she's taken on duties of both parent and sister. This season, she confronts her own shortcomings.
It's kind of starting to sink in that she may not be as good of a sister parent to her 5 younger siblings as she thinks she has been. But she hasn't really had a role model.
Shameless airs Sundays on Showtime. And Star Wars The Force Awakens is a force indeed at the box office, setting another new record over the weekend. Less than a month after opening, the film raked in $41.6 million in domestic ticket sales and another $104 million overseas. It's now the third largest grossing movie in the world ever. That's your Eye on Entertainment. Chris Martinez, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Well, Puppy Training 101, what you need to know to make sure he or she grows into man's best friend. We have some tips coming up next. And Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $15 million. And Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot, $1.3 billion. Welcome back. So maybe you got a new puppy over the holidays. That was the fun part. But now it's time for the serious training to mold your little one into the dog that you want it to become. Jean Gabowski, the manager of Brighton Animal Clinic and the owner of Camp Jean Rescue, is here with some helpful advice. Welcome, and also 3 puppies.
Yes.
Tell us about the pups first.
The pups, and Mom was pulled out of the Rowan County Humane Society, and she's a Beagle mix. Won't tell us who Dad was, so
that's the surprise part.
That's the surprise part.
Oh, but they are just precious little pups, about 7 weeks old, so ready to go into loving homes.
Absolutely.
And what happens after that? What do you need to do as soon as you? Oh, honey, get comfortable there. What happens once you bring that puppy into the environment? What do you need to do?
The most important thing for puppies is socialize, socialize, socialize. The key socialization period for a puppy is 6 to 16 weeks, and you want to get them into as many different situations as you can. Even at this age, you can start to teach them basic commands, like sit and lie down, even as early as this age. Getting them into a puppy socialization class is really wonderful, and we have those starting over at Brighton.
And I'm sure it's really good for them.
It's
the more that you
excellent.
work with them.
The more that you work with
What
them,
about
yes.
house training? You know, what's the best way to go about that?
Best way is just to keep a close eye on the puppy. If you can't supervise the puppy should be in a crate or behind a baby gate, leashed to you, something like that, so that you can just keep a very close eye. Take them out every about 20 minutes at this age. They don't have very much bladder control yet.
No, I'm sure that's very true. What are some of the no-nos? What should you not do with the new puppy in the house?
Biggest one, especially for like housebreaking, is if they do have an accident, don't go over and put their nose in it. You're not doing any good.
That's an old-timey thing.
That's an old-timey thing. If you had an accident, it's your fault. You weren't watching the puppy close enough. Just watch the puppy closer next time. Get them outside when you need to. The other thing is anything you don't want them to do.
Honey, don't fall. No. There you go.
Anything you don't want them to do when they're an adult dog, don't let them do it now. So if you don't want your adult dog on the furniture, don't let the puppy on the furniture.
Start out with good things. And you know, it's going to be cold out there, so.
It is. And so housebreaking a puppy right now is not any fun when you have to go out in this cold weather.
But you still do it.
But you got to do it. Yes.
What about adopting these puppies? Do they have homes?
They do not have homes. They are just now 7 weeks old. They've had their first set of shots already, and they are looking for new homes now. So anybody interested can go on to Facebook for Camp Jean, and the link for the applications is on that.
Great. And good luck with that new best friend.
Thank you.
Thanks. Well, keep it right here this mid-morning. We're checking in with Mr. Food Test Kitchen next. We're tracking a breaking news alert. A death investigation underway now in Lincoln County. We've learned a body was found in the front yard of a home on Upland Drive in Stanford. The coroner tells us a second person inside the home was taken to the hospital. We have a crew on the way to this active scene, and we'll bring you the latest on WKYT News at noon and also on WKYT.com. Well, changing course, this nutritious and hearty soup is great for cold winter nights. Today in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, beef barley soup.
Hey, Kelly, did you know that January is National Soup Month?
No.
Well, it is.
Nice.
You know, ever since I began making soups for my deli years ago, they've always been one of my favorite things to make. Everything from classics like chicken noodle and French onion to rich, creamy ones. So let me share with you one of the most popular soups we had on our menu. All we do is toss chunks of beef in some seasoned flour before browning them in a little oil. You see, browning the beef actually adds a rich flavor to the soup. Now we add in a good amount of beef broth, some barley, a few diced carrots, onions, and celery, and let it simmer until the barley and the beef are tender. And if you aren't familiar with barley, it's a grain that almost looks like oatmeal. It's packed with nutrients and is super versatile. And since every bowl is brimming with lots of beef and barley, all we need to do is pair it with some bread or crackers and dinner is served. I do hope you'll go online and get the recipe for deli-style beef barley soup so you can make one of my deli's most popular soups right at home. And not only will this warm your soul, it'll warm your tummy. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a restaurant kind of way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. You love your soup, don't you? That dessert's yum.
Oh, and warm soup on a cold day, cold night. Yeah. It is a nice combination.
It is a good combination, that is for sure. 29 degrees by the afternoon. That's going to be the case the next few days. We are dry today, maybe a couple of flakes for our northern zones here in the next few hours, but for the most part we stay dry. Everybody gets snow tomorrow. I say everybody. Everybody at least see some flakes, but most of us will see some light accumulation. We're going to talk timing and also who's going to be expecting it. I have new weather data coming to you at noon.
All right, we will be waiting for that, and we hope you'll be sure to join us at noon. We'll be back then. The Bold and the Beautiful next.